of the ones that are here have been born here.
So where do they immigrate to?
It depends. Yeah, the Costas.
Green cars? What kind of cars?
Yeah, the Costas with the purple faces, they pretty much go all over the Southwest. The black chins are pretty much desert Southwest locals.
Okay.
They migrate up, like to the top of the San Jacinto, San Gabriel. Rather than going north, they gain some altitude.
Okay.
But the rufous hummingbirds are in Oaxaca and Chiapas in extreme southern Mexico right now. And after the equinox, they're going to fly to Alaska.
Really?
Yeah. And when I see on the migration every year is the calliope hummingbird. They're a little bit bigger than a bumblebee.
Oh.
They're the smallest bird in North America.
Oh, the calliope?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they fly.
What was the first one you said? The other one?
Rufus.
That's the one that goes to Alaska?
Yeah. The calliope's go from Yucatan to British Columbia. Yeah. They are small, they are extremely fast, and they are very elusive.
So how long does that take them to do that? Do you know?
A couple of months.
They migrate together then in groups?
No, they migrate solo.
Really?
Yeah. Well, a whole group of hummingbirds would attract attention. One little bird, not so much.
So when in the morning do they usually come sunrise? Like around 7?
No, well before that.
Well before that.
Yeah, they come out with the first sliver of dawn because they've been pulled up all night.
Yeah.
Hey, man. Yeah. So they haven't eaten since nightfall.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so they need to spend time playing catch up in the morning. The first 3 hours of the morning are pretty intense.
They don't lay many eggs either, right?
2 at a time usually.
Yeah.
Sometimes 3, sometimes 1, but it's rare. Usually it's 2. And they're about the size of a jelly bean. And like a jelly belly.
Now, do they always nest kind of hanging down in a low, in a soft branch?
Different hummingbirds have different preferences.
Yeah. Obviously, they go in the palm trees then and leaves in there.
Well, if it's got cover and thorns, protection.
Yeah.
Because when they nest, it's the only time they stay still.
Yeah.
And all the predators know that.
Because the nests we saw were kind of, on the end of branches.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Obviously, they're very lightweight. You don't even see them if you're not looking.
It's like an early warning system. If a larger predator is having to climb out on the limb that starts to shake.
Okay. Okay. So they probably wouldn't go into the crotch of a limb then?
No.
Yeah.
No, they're usually on the outer.
Yeah.
Boy, Tom, you really
And I've got a little friend here. I got a different ones. There's 2 of them.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed that when he eats, a little feather on his neck sticks behind him a little bit.
Yeah. Be ready to leave one.
Like sideburns.
Mm-hmm.
Little sideburns.
Yeah. When they're doing their courting, the Costas get in front of the female,
Yeah.
and they do a vertical hover Well, they wag their tail from side to side,
Oh,
and they flex their face
oh,
so that the colored feathers on their face go out, and it looks like a metallic octopus.
oh, oh,
And that's only the first thing they have to do to get a mate,
Yeah.
because if she's responsive to the hovering in front of her, they fly up to like 75, 80 feet
oh,
and do a power dive,
oh, oh.
so they can see, yeah, I can fly.
Yeah,
And-
really impressive. Huh?
Yeah. And then it's ritual combat.
Oh,
It's like, if you can beat me, you can have me.
yeah. Oh, oh, oh.
Well, they want them that look good, fly
Yeah,
good, and
yeah.
can fight.
Yeah. That's kind of what Judy said about me.
Yeah.
Look good, fly good, fight.
I don't know about the fight.
Yeah. And to feel like noticed, recognized, and trusted by something that wild,
Yeah.
it's really an amazing sensation.
What you share.
Yeah.
The feel of the wings fluttering.
Yeah.
Pretty nice.
The amount of air they displace is insane.
Well, long enough to decide if you want to go in the hospital.
Could do both.
It's probably about 3 inches from my face.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sometimes I think they're like saying hello, and
yeah.
then I'll hear their beak snap shut and realize, he was hunting bugs.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it sounded like.
A bee?
No, fun. So the hummingbird might go get it.
They give the bees wide berth.
Not fighting either.
One of them pushed one away here. in
Oh,
front of
yeah.
me,
Well, they
drove him away a little.
they can be like bar regulars. You know, like you come in, it's your bar, it's
Yeah.
your local,
Yeah,
and there's some tourist at your school.
yeah.
You know.
Hey, get out of here.
They really like this theater above you.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
you. They know you.
That location is just popular.
Okay, yeah.
I think because it's like secluded,
Yeah.
yet nobody at that feeder, you don't have to be afraid about somebody coming in full speed at you,
Oh, yeah.
because that happens. I've had to lower the awning when they're busy dive bombing each other.
Oh, really?
It's mating season, and they
Oh,
can
right.
lose all sense.
Oh, okay.
I've seen them kill each other in
Oh,
fights. And I have never seen them have an accidental mid-air collision. It's on purpose, and you can hear it.
Yeah.
The bunker didn't want to move one of these. She didn't want them that close. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, well, they can be very strange. The speed is intimidating.
Sweeter now, it used to get low and it's getting more bigger.
Some of them just have different ways of doing it.
Yeah.
There's ones that'll like to hover and don't insert the beak, just flick the tongue through the little hole.
Oh,
And then there's the ones that jam right down into it.
yeah.
Well, there were two fighting off the town's left.
Yeah.
Face off on there.
Oh, yeah.
Right there. They're going at it.
Well, they were courting.
Oh,
She wasn't having it, though.
And how many times do they lay eggs a year? Once or more?
Well, it takes about 2 months from mating until they leave the nest. And they've been doing it since October, so. And there's about 5 more weeks left in the mating period. At the equinox, they'll get their signal. It's time to lay off the mating and time to start getting ready to migrate.
it's that constant time.
This one, yeah. This is another one. It doesn't have as much black or color as this.
Okay, that's a broadtail female.
Oh, broadtail?
Yeah. More gray than green.
Yeah, more gray than green. Yeah, absolutely.
And when she's at the hover, her tail was fanned out.
Yes,
Yeah.
Interesting, yeah.
Well, the only time I saw them like this is those feeders in a campground in Colorado, up by Estes Park.
Oh, okay.
Remember that?
So, yeah.
You don't?
I do, but yeah, there's a lot of fighting going on.
There was a lot of fighting.
Yeah.
Maybe they were spread out in the feeders.
What I did was I kind of set this up where the feeders are close together, which compresses the airspace,
Oh, sure.
because, you know, they don't need to make it easy for them to fight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But the feeders on the outskirts, like over there and the ones over there, that allows the ones that feel the need
Yeah.
to establish and defend a territory, because that's part of what they are. You can't get them to. And all I've really been able to do here is they almost won't fight over food. But they're hummingbirds and they will fight over everything else.
So this is sugar water, is that
Yeah.
right? So how much sugar do you go through?
I buy it in 50-pound bags.
And how often do you have to buy it?
A 50-pound bag couldn't last me a month.
So what's the concentration of the sugar in the water?
During the winter and during migration, I use 1/3 of a cup to 1 cup water, 1/3 cup sugar. And during the summer, I cut it back to 1/4 cup to 1 cup water because the desert sun can do evil things to sugar water quickly.
So how do you clean the feeders?
Brushes, soft cloths, hot running water, no soap.
Okay, not those.
No.
How often do you have to clean them?
Every time I fill them.
Oh, so you just run water from
Hot water while using a bottle brush.
Okay.
And then each of the individual ports has to be cleaned and brushed.
Okay.
Um,
Oh, you guys have commitment here, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah, it's okay. But see what I get in return,
Yeah.
you know? I kind of object when people call me the hummingbird whisperer because they're not doing what I want. I do what they want. And they show up. I
They're
mean,
the human whisperers.
yeah.
You conform to their world, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the time people will say, oh, thank you for sharing your hummingbirds. And I'm like, they're not mine. Nobody owns these guys.
There's my little buddy here.
And the Kauhia Nation, whose land we're on, this complex is on Kauhia land.
Oh, yeah.
The hummingbirds are sacred to them.
Okay.
Their origin story is that they were wandering in the desert and they followed hummingbirds to find Palm Springs. With the water and the shade and the canyons and protected by the desert.
Okay.
Choosing Palm Springs kept the Spanish and the Americans out of their hair until like the 1880s. And that's one of the reasons they ended up with so much land.
Oh, okay. Now, were you born in Palm Springs?
No, my dad was in the Navy.
You moved around.
Yeah, I was born in a sea bag. And then I was a musician, which meant that I traveled all the time.
Oh, yeah. And when did you settle here?
10 years ago. I retired, and I love the desert, but I was tired of Las Vegas. And this just seemed like the place to be.
What kind of music did you play?
Whatever they paid me for. I had no shame.
Guitarist or drummer? But,
Strings.
oh, okay.
Mostly guitars, because that's what people like.
Yeah.
I played the other strings. If it had been up to me, I would have played classical music in an orchestra, but that doesn't pay.
Yeah. Some of my friends still have bands. They're going.
Topless shows in Vegas paid.
Yeah.
Jingles on late night cable TV paid.
Oh. Jingles on late night TV.
Oh yeah, yeah.
When I would know.
Like Johnny Carson or what?
No. Parmesan, crap Chardonnay, and wax cardboard boxes kind of like. But I was playing the harp and Turlock O'Carroll music.
Oh.
And they loved it because it was public domain, you know. And I loved it because my daughter's college bills were getting paid by a blind Irish harper from the 17th century.
My one friend had written music in the 70s, and somebody actually bought all the rights to his music, even though it was never, it's been in a couple things with some advertisements.
Yeah.
They paid pretty well, too. Surprising, because he was, nobody would know him.
Well, nobody
Is that what they're cooking? Sometimes.
Nobody ever bought tickets because they saw my name on the poster.
Oh, really? Oh, I thought, boy, we'd see some headline and
No.
we'll look through the books and we'll say, look at that guy we said where the hummingbirds, he was famous.
Now, is this your camera you're filming? Or
Yeah, yeah, I have a YouTube channel, Palm Springs Hummingbirds.
Oh, so it's a constant showing.
Yeah, I
Okay.
I regularly film at dawn
Oh,
and at sunset like this.
oh,
And I have subscribers in Kyiv, Ukraine.
really?
Yeah, they watch these from bomb shelters.
Oh,
Slava Ukrainian, my friends. It's glory to Ukraine. Since the invasion, I've been attending an AA meeting on Zoom that's held in Kyiv.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've gotten to know those folks. Fighting for their lives while staying clean and sober. Something that never occurred to me. Yeah, the last thing I wanted to be in a war zone was sober.
Well, that's been the theme since the Civil War. That's why Brandy became so famous. Nobody was going in those front lines without being totally south.
Yeah.
I just had two put their in at the same time. And they
Yeah.
pulled out.
Yeah, that's a thrill, isn't it?
Yeah,
They're really starting to come in.
they are.
It's going to be like this now for about another 15 minutes.
So I can really feel the breeze from the wings.
Doing some mid-air collisions.
Filling up all the theaters now.
The Audubon Society tells you that if you want to estimate the number of birds your feeders support, you count the most you see at one time
Okay.
and multiply by 6. How am I going to do that?
Yeah, I do have that. When I'm seeing that.
We need help counting.
There was a woman who lived here who had a teenage son on the autism spectrum, and he would come and spend hours just watching. And one time, his mother asked me, "How many do you think there are here?" And I'm like, "I don't know." Without turning around, he said,